the adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends. Starring that jet-A Jerry O'Lace, Rocket J. Squirrel, and his pal, Bullwinkle the Moose.
Hi, glad to see you again.
Likewise.
We got some great things on the show today.
Like what? Like what?
Well, you ought to know, Bullwinkle. You're in some of them.
Well, let's get started.
Well, last time you remember, Boris Badenoff disguised himself as Santa Claus and started off to deliver a present to Bullwinkle. A present that goes tick-tock.
Until he opens it, then it goes kaboom!
In just a little while, he approached our shivering friends and...
Hello! And ho, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Hokey smoke, Bullwinkle. Look at that.
It's Sandy Claus.
He looks a little seedy to me. Look at that beard.
It's molting, darling. Always looks a little scraggly this time of year.
And who are you?
Santa's little helper, Elf.
Elf!
Santa, they don't believe in me.
They don't even believe in me.
Now, wait a itty-bitty minute. Nobody's gonna tell me I don't believe in Santa Claus. Not even Santa Claus himself is gonna tell me that.
That's the spirit, little fellow, and just for that, here is your present, a warm woolly coat to wear.
Gee, dandy.
Merry Christmas, ho, ho, ho.
That ho sounded pretty phony to me.
Yes, that's the first time I ever heard of Santa Claus talking dialect. Oh, come now. Are you trying to destroy a young moose's faith in Christmas?
Oh, for gunny sack.
What is it, Bullwinkle?
What a Yuletide boo-boo.
What is?
We didn't give him a present.
Well, I really don't think he was expecting one.
Makes no never thee minds, Rock. We got to give Santa a present.
Yeah, but we don't have a present to give him.
No, nothing but this one.
Hey, that's it.
That's what I said.
We'll give him this present.
That's what I said.
So with warm hearts and frostbitten fingers, our boys rewrapped Boris's present.
This way, Bullwinkle. We'll hit him off at the ice floe.
Do you think he'll mind getting his own present back again?
He may not know it's his.
I guess you're right. If you've seen one warm woolly coat, you've seen them all.
Besides, you already have a warm woolly coat.
True, though it is wearing out a little in the... Oh!
What?
I forgot this is my own personal pelt.
Hey, here he comes, Bullwinkle.
Say, Rock, let's just toss it in his sleigh as he goes by. That way it'll be more of a surprise.
Bullwinkle neatly tossed the package into the rear of his motorized sleigh.
What a jolt he'll get when he opens it.
I'll bet.
I'd give a purdy to be there. I sure like surprises.
Well, you're gonna love this then. Look behind you.
Indeed, for our heroes were surrounded by a band of ferocious Ricky-Tickians.
Gee, they're blue with cold, Bullwinkle.
That's because they got no warm woolly coats like you and me, Rock.
True, but it's only a matter of time.
You mean?
You said 'em. Squirrel coat, just the thing for cold weather.
Yeah, but I'm not big enough to make a coat.
Then I make moose coat with squirrel collar. Pretty sporty, huh?
But to do that, you have to skin us.
You got 'em another way?
I knew I should have had a zipper put in.
We gotta stall for time, Bullwinkle, till Captain Peachfuzz and the professor get here.
Well, that shouldn't take long.
How come?
They're right over there.
Captain, you've dealt with South Pacific Islanders before. What'll we do?
Well, the usual thing is to bargain.
Bargain?
Sure, break out the trade goods, do a little swapping.
Swapping?
Yes, you let them wear your glass beads, they let you wear your head.
Sounds like an even trade.
Well, let's start swapping. What's the going price for a moose head?
No want beads, no want mirrors.
Well, what do you want?
Want warm woolly coat.
Oh, careful, that's fastened on to me.
We fix 'em that.
Wait, I got an idea.
What is it, Rocky?
I can't tell you.
What? Why not?
'Cause it's the end of the episode.
You know he's right, but be sure to see the next episode, Fur, Fur Away, or Hair Today, Gone Tomorrow.
baritone solos in the key of E.
But
If not... Ooh.
now for another of our special features.
Should have tried E flat.
Many years ago, there was a particularly good year for fairy tales. It was the year that Prince Charming put the glass slipper on Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty was awakened with a kiss, a frog was turned into a prince, and Rumpelstiltskin didn't get the kid. Fairy godmothers were everywhere and times were good. Everybody was healthy, wealthy, and happy. That is, everybody but a young lad named Delicia, who was miserable because none of these wonderful things had ever happened to him.
I mean, what good could happen to a kid named Delicia?
He tried as hard as he knew how to become a fairy tale, but nothing seemed to work. Finding a deep well in a forest glade, he tossed in a penny and called out in a loud, clear voice,
Hello down there! Are you a magic wishing type well?
No!
I was afraid of that. Can I have my penny back?
No!
I was afraid of that, too.
Then, in hopes of finding a magic mirror, he used his last cent to buy every mirror in town.
Now hear this. Any one of you who's a magic mirror, signify by saying I.
One mirror sang 3 choruses of Whistle While You Work, and 2 others said poems, but not one said I. Delicia had failed again. It was quite discouraging, but as he walked down a lonely road, he saw something that made his eyes glisten with excitement.
It must be a magic sword. With this, I can slay a dragon, become famous, and win a princess.
He hurried off, and in a short time, he found a huge, vicious dragon.
Say, he is a beauty.
The lad bravely charged the dragon, swinging and slashing the mighty sword, but he was unable to lay a blade on the beast. The dragon, in complete control of the situation from the start, breathed fire on him. Then kicked him so hard that he landed in a heap.
Oh, so here it is.
Oh, so here, what is?
The sword. I dropped the sword on my way to the museum.
Museum?
Yeah, this sword is quite an oddity. It's the only sword in the kingdom that isn't magic.
Oh, I hate people who are late with explanation.
Defeated and heading for home, Delicia had completely given up when he chanced to meet a little man in a tub. Now, ordinarily, this wouldn't be too unusual, but this little man in the tub happened to be rowing down the middle of the road.
Hold on there. What are you doing?
I'm rowing my tub, and I don't mind telling you, sir, the going is mighty tough.
Oh, I believe it. Perhaps if you put the tub in the water, it would be easier.
The lad took him to the nearby river, where the little man found that he could row around with ease.
You've certainly been kind to me, Delicia.
How do you know my name?
Oh, just a lucky guess. So I will be kind to you. Follow that path, and you will find a beautiful girl who will be your wife.
The boy did, and just as the little man in the tub had said, he saw a beautiful young girl picking up sticks.
Pardon, fair maiden, but why are you picking up sticks?
You know the poem 1, 2, button your shoe, 3, 4, shut the door.
Oh, yes, 5, 6, pick up sticks. What about it?
Pick up sticks is all I know of it, so. Pick up sticks, pick up sticks, pick up... By the way, do you want to get married?
It had worked out just as the little man in the tub had said, and they were married.
Come in, dear. This is your new home.
Here we come, my love.
We?
Mother has to come live with us.
Well, don't just stand there, stupid. Get your apron on. You got work to do.
From that moment on, Delicia did the cooking, the dishes, swept the floors, and made the beds. But one day, on his coffee break, he hurried down to the river. He found the little man in the tub and told him of his plight.
Mother-in-law's pretty mean, huh?
Yes. I think she used to teach ogres to fight dirty.
Perhaps if you were rich, she'd go easier on you.
Rich? Well, how am I going to get rich?
Easy. Take this sack of genuine gold.
98 cents! I'm rich. I'm well-to-do.
I was wondering when you were going to pay the rent. Now lift those bed sheets, tote that pail. Get a little lazy and you'll land in jail.
Unable to stand it another minute, Delicia ran back to the little man in the tub.
Oh, it's no use. I'll never have a happy ending with my mother-in-law in the house.
Oh, yes, you will, boy. Look here at the evening paper.
Ogre on the loose. He is purple with green spots and... What's this got to do with me?
Go on home and you'll see that everything is going to turn out just fine.
When he reached his house, he found...
Something terrible has happened. An ogre came in and dragged Mother off to his cave. What are you going to do?
Nothing. I mean, the ogre got himself into that fix. Now let him get out of it.
And so they both lived happily ever after, which is more that can be said for the ogre.
Clean up this cave! What's the matter with you? Get those roots and bones out of here!
Please don't beat this old purple body. Don't hit me.
Hello, Culture Gang. Today's poem is that epic of time travel, Hickory Dickory Dock. You're sure you know your part now?
Sure.
Okay. Hickory Dickory Dock, the mouse ran up the clock. Very good. The clock struck 1 and down he run. Down he run. Hey, that's your cue.
No, the clock didn't strike 1.
I don't care, you're supposed to run down.
In my script, it's the clock that runs down.
You come on out of there, I'm coming in to get you.
Just try it.
Okay, with all the dag flatted blag stagging. No!
There. You'll be all right in a week or so.
Why don't you pick on somebody your own size?
Now, just what caused the accident, Mr. Moose?
Well, obviously, it was Hickory Dickory. Doc? Private Bullwinkle, sir, with a message.
Just in time!
Is it important?
Is it? Just look!
The month was June in the Canadian Northwest, and once again Dudley Do-Right's heart turned to Nell.
Nell, 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 Nell. Your name sounds like the ringing of a bell.
Oh, Dudley, I know my name sounds just like a bell, but is that enough? A pretty name, a pretty face. But while I stay here and do the household chores, you go out into the world where there's excitement, adventure.
But Nell, that's the way things are. That's Mountie business. We always get our man.
How about women?
How's that?
Do you always get your women?
I hadn't thought about that.
Of course you don't. Women are too smart for you. Besides, if you do always get your man, why is Snidely Whiplash still at large?
It will take some doing, but I'll bring him in.
Haw.
But?
I said haw. I could bring in Snidely and all his henchmen with no trouble at all. All right, Dudley. You change places with me and I will show you.
Well, all right.
Homer, do you know why I can get away with all my nefarious mischief?
I don't even know what nefarious mischief means.
Because I am not 1 jump ahead of Dudley Do-Right. I am 8 jumps ahead of Dudley Do-Right, but that's to be expected of anyone who has a hyphenated last name.
Snidely! They have replaced Dudley Do-Right on a Mounties with another Mountie.
How can you be sure?
Because there was the strange Mountie riding on a horse.
We must work fast, Homer. We must put a cordon of our most trustworthy henchmen around the shack.
Right. What's a cordon?
Life moves in mysterious ways. This morning I was Dudley Do-Right of the Mounties. This afternoon, Dudley Do-Right, homemaker.
Oh, Nell, after you finish sweeping in here, could you tidy up my office? Oh, and another thing. I think you're seeing altogether too much of Dudley Do-Right. Well, you're even beginning to look like him a little.
Inspector Fenwick, I am not your daughter, Nell Fenwick. I am Dudley Do-Right.
Then what are you doing in that funny apron?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Nell has switched places with me. She is out trying to bring in her man, and I'm doing the housework.
Bring in her man? Don't you know what this means? A thing like this could lead to woman's suffrage.
But when Nell reached Whiplash's hideout, she found it well guarded.
Why don't you boys come up to the RCMP camp and see me sometime?
Wow!
Well, Well, Inspector, you know what we all go through to get our man. Nell hasn't a ghost of a chance to get her man.
Not a ghost of a chance, eh?
And now, Snidely Whiplash.
We must stop Nell from bringing in Snidely Whiplash. If she brings in Snidely, there'll be no stopping her. She may become the first woman Prime Minister of the Commonwealth.
What in the world has happened to my cordon? Where have my men gone?
They all went off with Dudley's replacement.
Put up quite a fight, did they?
No, they seem to go willingly.
What am I going to do? What am I going to do?
Well, you better do it fast, because here he comes now.
I know what I'm going to do. What any red-blooded villain would do. Hide.
Snidely Whiplash, give yourself up in the name of the mounted police.
Nell Fenwick.
Come along now, Whiplash. You are my prisoner.
No, Nell, I think you have that a little twisted. The way it looks now, you are my prisoner.
Oh, but Snidely, don't you see? I have to make good. This is my big chance, and now you won't come with me.
I can't stand to see a woman cry. Stop it, Nell. I'll go along with you.
She caught him, Dudley. Oh, we've got to help Snidely escape.
Psst, Snidely.
No thanks.
It's no use, Dudley. Snidely's petrified with fear. But I have a plan. All I ask is that you agree with everything I say when we get back to camp.
Dudley, Father, I did it. I brought in Snidely Whiplash like I said I would.
Where is he, Nell?
Why, right here, Father.
I don't see Snidely Whiplash. Do you, Dudley?
Why, yes, sir, Inspector Fenwick. He's right over.
Oh! Are you quite sure, Do-Right, that you see Snidely Whiplash?
No, Inspector, I can't see anything.
Well, Nell, you can see for yourself. Dudley can't see Snidely Whiplash. I can't see Snidely Whiplash. So we may presuppose that Snidely Whiplash is a figment of your imagination.
Well, Nell, I tried.
Father, that figment of my imagination is about to blow up the RCMP camp.
That's right, Nell. Figment did blow up this camp. Hairy Figment. Dudley, I want you to bring this hairy Figment in at once.
Yes, sir, Inspector. Hairy Figment?
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings, but at last report, things were in a dreadful state. The world had flipped sideways, Boris was about to make a billion-dollar racket out of the Santa Claus business, and our friends had been captured by some half-frozen natives who insisted on skinning Bullwinkle to make warm, woolly coats.
Just one question. Who packed these boxes of trading goods?
I packed them personally, Rocky,
Okay,
but...
open them up, Bullwinkle.
But, Rocky, those are hot weather items only. Trinkets, fans, dark glasses, bikinis.
But the good captain wasn't called Wrong Way Peach Fuzz for nothing, for those boxes packed for the tropics were full of...
warm, woolly coats!
Hey! Captain, your stupidity saved the day.
Oh, it was nothing that any Navy man couldn't have done.
Now we gotta find a way to straighten the world up.
But how?
Well, according to your theory, Professor, the world tilted over because the ice and snow got too heavy at the old North Pole.
Yeah?
Well, then all we have to do is make the ice and snow too heavy at the new North Pole.
Sure, Charlie, but how?
We could ask people to send it in.
Please, Bullwinkle.
No, he's right.
He is?
I am?
Sure, we'll do a big snow telethon.
And so the call went out all over the Topsy Turvy television world.
Send your old ice and snow to the island of Ricky-Ticky, folks, and let's straighten up.
And fly right.
And people did just that. From the icebound shores of California to the snow-capped jungles of Tanganyika, people began to send ice and snow to Ricky-Ticky. By the train full, by the plane full, by the ship full, even by the tray full.
That's it, folks. Keep it coming.
One more snowstorm should do it, Rocky.
One more snowstorm, eh?
And before you could say Tusanella Werfenpickle, the plucky squirrel had grabbed a nearby sack of silver iodide crystals and was zooming through the air over the island.
Silver iodide crystals?
If you drop them into a cold cloud, it makes snow.
Oh!
Yes, Rocky was flashing through the frigid air above the island, seeding the clouds.
Hi-yo, silver iodide!
And everywhere that Rocky went, he left a curtain of white falling behind him.
Gentlemen, please take off your hat.
How come?
This is a solemn moment. We are witnessing the greatest snow job in history.
And it was true. The added weight of the snow began to tilt the island over more and more. And within a few hours, the world had flipped back to normal. And everybody was delighted with the change, except for one old gentleman who lay basking in the sun.
Oh, confound it. I knew they'd find a way sooner or later. All right, come on, boys. The vacation is over.
We're coming, Santa Claus!
Yes, the island of Rikki-Tikki suddenly swung back into the warm South Pacific again, and of course all that ice began to melt. The result was a fantastic flood in which two woebegone figures struggled.
Well, Boris, there goes the Santa Claus racket.
Well, easy come, easy go.
Boris, you're not unhappy?
Of course not. His first story where I wind up with something.
What?
This present the moose gave me when he thought I was Santa Claus.
He looks a lot like present you gave him, with bomb in it.
Nonsense. Would moose be stupid enough to give me back my own present?
Well...
On second thought, maybe I...
What were you going to say, Boris?
Only one thing, Natasha. Shut up your mouth!
Well, anyway, Bullwinkle, we managed to give Santa Claus a well-earned vacation in the sun.
Yeah, I can hardly wait to see the old fella next time he gets here.
How come?
'Cause I'm dreaming of a tan Christmas.
Aren't we all? And also dreaming of our next episode of Rocky Squirrel and Bullwinkle Moose.
Well, I guess that about wraps up another Rocky show.
Certainly hope you enjoyed it. I did. I always say.
Bullwinkle, time for us to go.
Already? Okay, but first, here are some of the people who made this show impossible. The fingers get tired. Oop! Got away from me again.
Well, see you next time. Ready, Bullwinkle?